Yo, what's cracking guys? Phase on here, and today I got second place in the Carta Magica Regional. We went X1. I saw basically Sword and Soul all day, for the most part, and the one loss was to like branded Eldlich, Dogmatica, Dinomorphia, Adventurer. It was like a really weird deck, and I just didn't know how to play through everything because every time I dealt with one engine, he just introduced another one to me. But yeah, that deck was super interesting, so I will definitely be testing it in the future. But today we decided to play Dogmatica Eldritch, no branded stuff. While the branded stuff is quite good and the ceiling on it is higher than what Trap Eldritch accomplishes, one thing that I've noticed that is very frustrating to me is a lot of times if you open branded fusion and it gets ashed, it just like it feels like you have like kind of kneecapped yourself in a lot of ways because now suddenly you have stuff like Necroworld Banshee and Fallen of Albaz that are like kind of bricks if you draw them, which doesn't feel great. But I wanted to have like cards that were consistent even if the ceiling was lower, so we decided to play just like purple cards. But yeah, getting into it, we played three monsters. We played the two Lord and the one Ecclesia. I wanted to keep it as small as possible because I don't want to draw monsters. I also didn't want to play Heavenly because Heavenly is pretty inconsistent in like where it's good. It's super good into the Despia matchup because they can't Chimera you, which actually came up. I played against Despia, and because I didn't have Heavenly in main, he was able to pop two of my back row, and I basically auto lost game one, which was really unfortunate. But yeah, either way, like it just doesn't feel that good into Sword Soul. It doesn't feel that good into like Punk Therion or anything. So I don't love Heavenly in main. In fact, even though it's inside right now, I'm thinking of cutting it. It's been underperforming like crazy for me. For spells, we're playing three Extrav, two Nadir, the one Card of Demise. Card of Demise was super good the entire tournament. Like this was plussing me like crazy. And then the one called By the Grave. And then the rest of the deck is traps. We played our standard Eldritch engine, 3 Sanguine, 3 Conk, 2 Hawk Arrow. We played a bunch of good normal trap cards, 3 Torrential, 3 Punishment, 3 D Barrier, 2 IDP, and 2 Trap Trick to make all of them more consistent and searchable. We kept the Floodgate count kind of low compared to previous iterations of the deck. We played 3 Skill Drain and 3 Gozen. I decided Gozen would actually be more consistent this format as Punk Therion is getting more popular, and the Despia deck is starting to lose a little bit of popularity. I think this suddenly gets a lot better, and because we're not playing Zombie World, I don't love Rivalry because it's really good into like into the like Despia matchup, but it's kind of mediocre into a lot of the other ones. And let's see, for Blowout, we're playing 3 Solemn Strike, and I decided to play the 1 Broken Line. Honestly, this should have been 2 Broken Line. I wanted to have 5 counter trap cards in main. I just couldn't find my second or third copy of Broken Line, so we decided to just play the 1. This is a 41 card list. I think it was pretty consistent. I have no real complaints. And overall, the only thing that I wasn't loving was the lack of the second Broken Line. Broken Line in main was actually pretty good because people don't really play around it game one. Especially when you're going second, it's like a guaranteed hit because you just set it in front of like the Baron de Fleur or like the whatever you need to negate, right? But yeah, getting into our extra deck, we played the 1 Link Spider and Imduck to convert our trap cards. We played 2 Lina because this is just my favorite way to convert Eldritch the Golden Lord. The 1 win lets you can go into it with Imduck, as I've mentioned many times before, and you can steal Baron de Fleur, which is always cool. Played 1 Nightmare Unicorn and 1 Access Code. I went into Access Code 3 Unicorn actually some more times than I thought I would. I was actually thinking of cutting this, but it was good. I liked it. For XCs, we're playing 1 Pleiades and 2 Gustav. Definitely didn't miss the second Pleiades. I didn't go into Pleiades the whole time, to be honest. In this version of the deck, because your trap cards are not being searched off of Eldland, oftentimes I don't find myself with multiple Golden Land trap cards on the board, so I never really have the opportunity to go into Pleiades even if I wanted to. For our punishment targets, we're playing 3 Entis, 1 Titaniclad, because when you send Titaniclad off punishment, if you don't already have access to Ecclesia, it gets your Ecclesia engine started, which is nice. and the one Wind Pegasus Adignister. This was really good actually. I send this off of Nadir when I go first. If I leave Nadir in post side, or game 1 if I go first and I open Nadir, I'll send this every time. And if there's not 2 cards to pop, so the Entis isn't like crucial, I'll often send the Wind Pegasus just because it like randomly comes up later in the game. Next up, we have our side deck. This is where I'd probably make the most changes. 3 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. This card was terrible. I actually had Evenly Matched resolved against me every round. All of my opponents are on Evenly Matched. People are not on cards like Lightning Storm as much as they are Evenly Matched. And the thing about Lord of the Heavenly Prison is he only protects face down. So if you play, if you flip a skill drain, they can still pop it. So you're ultimately only protecting your face downs against cards like Duster and Lightning Storm. I would honestly switch back to Lancia. I was liking Lancia a lot more when I was on it. Heavenly Prison is super mediocre in my opinion, and when everyone's on Evenly, this card is actually terrible. Played 3 Lava Golem. This was really good. A lot of my opponents started playing around it, which is smart on them, but yeah, I think overall it still performed pretty well. We played 3 Evenly Matched just for trap matchups. It didn't come up. I didn't see the mirror all day. Prejudgment. I sided in every games 2 and 3 just to deal with like back row hate. And finally, we switched to 3 Mystic Mine. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play to deal with both Adignister, which is slowly gaining some traction from what I've seen, as well as Flunder. I was previously on Zombie World and Necroworld Banshee, but because we're not on Branded Fusion and those cards are like, you have to basically hard draw them anyways, I figured that Mystic Mine is more generically applicable. This was actually really good into Despia, because Despia like actually just doesn't have an out to this if you just hard activate it. They can chain Branded and Red if they want, but ultimately they're not going to be able to like resolve any effects. So this is basically like it's a real rough thing for most decks to deal with, except for like the Mirror and Sky Striker basically. But yeah, pretty standard list. I don't think there's anything too innovative or crazy. But decided to go back to the roots. I wanted to win that Exo Sister mat, and so I decided to play something that I knew and I was comfortable on, and we decided to just play it smart and safe, and definitely paid off walking away with 2nd place. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would do differently. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing right and wrong around here, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.